So this is my setup for getting ready to build the Piper Piper J-3 Cub 40 size airplane from Great Plains, and I'm just kind of getting back into the hobby. So what I've got so far is, just to get this thing set up and built, I've got a Midwest miter box, a razor saw, an extra blade for the razor saw, a couple of pair of needle nose pliers, some clippers, some scissors, some tongue depressors or craft sticks just to mix the epoxy up with. I've got 6-minute and 30-minute epoxy. Rubbing alcohol to clean up the epoxy. I've got a pencil. I need to go get a pen and then a felt tip marker. I've got some epoxy mixing brushes. I've got tons of those. These are just the two I had right here. I've got thick, medium, and thin CA with all applicator tips. And if you look really closely at my thin CA, you can see where the tip was actually glued into the top of the bottle. Stink there. But in addition to that, I've got some gloves to protect my hands from the CA glue. I've got some clear 4mm plastic from Lowe's to put over the plans while I'm building. The 4mm plastic doesn't stick to, or glue doesn't stick to that, and doesn't bond the plastic to the model parts the same way wax paper would bond, and having to sand wax paper off. Got 4 different X-Acto knives. 2 of them are just regular number 1 handles. One that's got a kind of an angled chisel tip, and another one's got a saw blade in it. Hobbyco Builders triangle set, and then I've got this whole sheet right here is a sheet of sheet metal that I picked up from a friend of mine. And I've got some clamps from Harbor Freight, some more just spring clamps from Harbor Freight, and then these are presses jigs and presses that I picked up from a design at airfieldmodels.com, where a guy talked about using a magnetic building system versus T-pins and building board. So here's what I got so far, and we'll be doing the build. A little bit of pictures and some video documentation of the build, so that I can kind of document the whole process. I'm going to be doing a little bit of modifications to the Piper J Cub. Here's the instruction manual of that. It calls for regular just strip ailerons or barn door ailerons, and I'm going to add flaps to it. So we'll be following that modification as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and let's get started building.